Welcome back to Callahan's Corner. If you have some questions, we had some live right here on Facebook. Got a great question submitted by Taylor Cannon, one of the members in our coaching division. And Taylor had a great question. You're going to open up in normal fashion. Taylor says, do you have any videos on services? We are expanding our services to increase client value, and I'd like to make sure I am creating them right, especially since we're going to be growing our revenue into buckets under parent services. One example I'm curious about is trees. I want one easy price to show for deep root feeding. So we're going to grab that deep root feeding, Taylor, because we're going to actually make a video live here on how to do that. But it will have multiple custom fields for small, medium, and large ornamentals. Extra large, each tree will have a price to be fed. So he just wants to put a count in each custom field and have a price populate. I'm paraphrasing here. Where he's getting stuck is he wants to make this show up to the client as deep root feeding trees equals one price instead of price for small, medium, and large shrubs, etc. In addition, they also have a trip charge. So he wants to be able to charge a chip charge on that as well and cover his materials and labor. So what we're going to do is jump in normal fashion here and answer Taylor's question. First thing we're going to do is go into the Simple Growth Blueprint and build this out. So our parent service here is going to be deep root feeding, and there will be no custom fields for that, but this is basically going to be an empty service here for Service Autopilot. As we build this out, as that is the CRM, the customer relationship management software that Taylor is using. As we're going to go in, I'm going to assume Taylor knows his numbers as a client of Simple Growth, which he should know based on the coaches he's working with. So let's say that Taylor's going in and charging $125 per man hour per guy or girl, and his expense per man hour for that division is $71.42. So Taylor, if you're watching this, you want to obviously plug your own numbers in there. So the first thing we're going to be doing in here is going in and create a custom field of the number of small trees, and that name and the custom field will be the same here. So for every 1-to-1 small trees, we're going to bring down Taylor's 125 an hour and break even at 71.42. So the difference between the 125 and the 71.42 is his profit. Now he has a labor and materials here. So let's handle the labor part first with the overhead recovery. So let's say each small tree takes him a total of 7 minutes. Now, obviously this is fictitious, so you need to update your own numbers here. So what we need to do then is on his labor part, the minimal he needs to charge is $14.58 per tree. Now, obviously, I'm not suggesting this is the pricing, but this is the methodology that we're going to come to the pricing at. So it's a 1/1, so the second tree is going to be identical. So I'm going to pull some formulas to copy from the top. And then what we're going to do is go in and figure out Taylor's material product cost. So what we're going to do is our cost per tree materials, let's say it is costing him, let's just use ballpark numbers. Let's say it's $5 per tree. Obviously this is fictitious, so you need to obviously add this up for your own use here, but this is the methodology. And I'm going to update the formula here. So what I've done is taken the break-even equation and added the cost of the product here. So based on that, now we need to go in and add an additional cost for the tree. So maybe we're going in and we're going to mark up our product by 20%. So that's our $5 times 1.5%. So all in labor and materials in this example, Taylor would need to be charging $20.58. On the labor portion only, it would be $14.58 here. And if there was no product, he'd be at 42% net. So 43% net ballpark for tree division, not too terrible. We're going to back that out here. So right now with product markup, he's at 35. So maybe we want to go in and mark up his product, let's just say by 40%. That gets him up to about 39% net. So we'll consider that's a good margin for what Taylor's looking for. But the idea is we've got our deep root feeding here as our parent service, no pricing on it. We've gone in and built our small trees. Custom field is a number of small trees, 1-to-1 tree, labor and materials, overhead recovery. He's charging $21.58 per tree.